Hello everyone, how are my guys doing today? You're looking beautiful today, as per radiant, gorgeous, and just downright jaw-breaking. That's not the right word. I mean, it'd break my jaw, it doesn't matter. We are going to be watching SCP-2309 today by the one and only The Volgan. I know he has been requested so much by so many of you guys, so I hope you enjoy this video. It's the Iron Wall of Dal Quarnyan. I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm very sorry to anyone I may have just offended. I'm terrible with names, terrible with pronunciation of pretty much everything. So yeah, let's just get into it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the videos, because I love making them for you guys that like the videos. Get all cozy. Let's get all cozy.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-2309. Object Class, Euclid.
That means it's containable,
Special
right?
containment procedures.
I think.
In order to prevent unauthorized access, the area surrounding SCP-2309 has been enclosed by a chain-link fence and given the public designation of a proving ground used by the Georgian land forces. A team of observers is to be stationed at SCP-2309 at all times to regularly report on the structural condition of SCP-2309. Any breach in SCP-2309 is to be reported immediately and considered a potential SK-class dominant shift scenario.
Wait, what the hell? I don't know what an SK-class dominant shift scenario is, but it's just a wall, isn't it?
Upon receiving such a report, Foundation military assets stationed in the Middle East are to be activated and deployed according to Contingency Plan 2309 to assess the situation and, if applicable, engage any hostile forces that appear.
Engage any hostile force. So things come out of the wall? You know what this reminds me of? You know that the red pool, I can't remember the name of the SCP, but I reacted to it a while ago, where like it was like a portal to another dimension and like things came out of the portal. That was a really good SCP. That reminds you of this one.
Description: SCP-2309 is an approximately 20 meters tall and 5 meters thick wall constructed from blocks of iron covered in a thin layer of brass standing between the walls of Pass in region, Georgia. Although SCP-2309 is not susceptible to damage by conventional means, SCP-2309 continuously deteriorates through an anomalous process in which pieces of metal disappear from the north-facing side of SCP-2309, leaving a variety of patterns generally similar to claw marks in appearance.
Ooh, maybe that's like creatures trying to claw out of the wall?
This process of deterioration, which occurs between sunrise and sunset, will continue until the thickness of the wall is reduced to as little as 5 centimeters in some sections. Between each period of deterioration, SCP-2309 will regenerate the lost material at a rate of approximately 0.5 millimeters per second, such that all of the lost material will have been regenerated before the next period of deterioration.
Whoa. Okay. Between each period of deterioration, it will regenerate the lost material at a rate of whatever that is, at a rate that all of the... Okay. So between sunset and sunrise... No, between sunrise and sunset, the wall is continually deteriorating. But between sunset and sunrise, it like regenerates itself? Am I getting that correct? So it's like a but what's the point though? Why does it do that?
Foundation historians believe that SCP-2309 was constructed during the 6th century BCE under the sponsorship of Cyrus the Great, founder of the Achaemenid Empire. The historical existence of SCP-2309 has been attested by various written sources dating from as early as the 1st century CE. Publicly accessible versions of these sources have been modified accordingly to obscure the existence and location of SCP-2309. Of particular interest among these sources is the following first-hand account of SCP-2309, given by Salam at Turjumani.
See, I love Volgan. No offense to Volgan. Great content creator. But, like, I struggle to read just blocks of text.
I was elected to lead, not to read.
I need to have like a moving image in front of me to really like focus in on it. Like I'm seeing the words he's putting down and I'm listening to it, but like I'm struggling to process it, if that makes sense. So I have to like keep pausing and rereading what he said to like visually sort of get it in my mind. And that's why I struggle with the Vulcan reaction. So I do apologize to anyone if this video is a little slower than normal. I have to like keep pausing to process what he's actually saying, even though he just said it. Does anyone else get that? I can't be the only one that gets that, right? I'm a very visual learner, not like a reading learner. Okay. So it was made in an empire a while ago, and no one really knows where it came from, except that there's like old journals of it written around from the early 9th century. Okay, that is pretty old 9th century.
An official serving in the court of Caliph al-Wathiq of the Abbasid dynasty during the early 9th century CE.
Which is quite old.
This is a report on the Iron Wall by Salam at-Turjamani, Department of Antiquities, 1908, 9958.
Wait, what? 1908, 9958. What is that in reference to? That can't be a date, right? I don't know. Someone put in the comments what 1908, 9958 means. It's probably like a reference to something somewhere. I just don't know.
After the Caliph reported a dream in which he saw the Iron Wall of Dul Qarnayn being breached.
Dul Qarnayn. Okay, that's the name of it.
By the Yajuj and the Majuj. He dispatched me to investigate this matter. Okay. Heading northwards to the Caucasus, I arrived in Tbilisi after 6 months of travel.
Okay.
There I made inquiries concerning the state of the Iron Wall, and found an old Magian, who told me that he had seen the Iron Wall, and that it still stood. I then offered him 20 dinars to lead me to the Iron Wall, and without comment he led me further northward, to a pass between the mountains of and there I beheld the Iron Wall. And to the relief of both the Caliph and myself, I found that the Iron Wall still stood, and that Dul Qarnayn's construction equipment remained intact, scattered about the site.
But what does the wall do? What is it? What is its purpose?
Right.
Tell me, Vulcan.
What I found strange, however, was that I could see the scratches made by the Yajuj and the Majuj on the Iron Wall.
What the hell are the Yajuj and the Majuj? The Hooja-Whatjuj? The hell's the Hoojuj?
But I could not see Yajuj and Majuj themselves. When I expressed my confusion to the Magian, he told me that the people of the Yajuj and Majuj lie hidden beyond the...
I feel like I should laugh, but like Yajuj and Majuj were used like 20 times in those 3 sentences. It was just like the Yajuj and the Majuj, and the Yajuj and the Majuj live on the wall on the other side of the Majuj and the Yajuj. I don't know why repetition's funny to me. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm easily amused child.
Iron Wall. He then placed his hand on my shoulder, at which point I saw the horde of Yajuj and Majuj streaming towards us as they tore at the Iron Wall. They were as gruesome as I had imagined, for their nakedness was not even hidden by skin, and their hands ended not in nails, but vicious rending claws.
What?
Behind the horde of Yajuj and Majuj, I saw only devastation. Every tree and plant had been uprooted, and the only beasts that survived their onslaught were flies, maggots, and roaches. Examining the disposition of the...
Okay. I'm just gonna say that, like, there isn't really a creature on Earth that, like, physically makes me recoil in horror, except maggots. Ugh, like cockroaches, I can handle. Flies, I can handle. A bunch of other creepy insects that most people can't handle, I can handle. Tarantulas, etc., etc. But like maggots, like when there's a pile of maggots and they're all writhing around and wriggling and pulsating and doing they're like the really creepy cousin of the caterpillar. I can't handle that. I physically will recoil and gag and cry if I ever had to be in the presence of a pile of wriggling, like,
The forces of the Yajuj and Majuj more closely, I saw 2 masked men, cloaked in red robes like those of Roman bishops presiding over the horde from atop flesh-crafted towers. Before them stood a massive, 4-legged beast that was larger than 5 elephants, and had only a bony plate for a face.
raising their staves towards
I'm
the
guessing
air.
that's
They
what's in
guided
the
the
image.
beast as a performer might guide a puppet. Responding to their every gesture, the beast began to charge toward the iron wall, trampling underfoot the Yajuj and the Majuj that strayed into its path, before its head slammed into the iron wall, which emerged largely unscathed.
What the hell?
I questioned the Magian as to why the Yajuj and Majuj continued this futile effort to penetrate the iron wall, when they could have undermined it or built a scaffold. He replied that where the Yajuj and Majuj stood, the ground was harder than Damascus steel, and the ceiling of heaven was exactly at the height of the iron wall,
What?
so that even the most insignificant insect could not fly over it. I told
What?
the Magian that I had seen enough, and he removed his hand from my shoulder. As Yajuj and Majuj disappeared from my sight, he told me that the Caliph and the rulers of every civilized land must heed the threat of Yajuj and Majuj. Sometimes I question whether my vision was a sign from Allah or a Magian trick.
Wait. So the Margin. Sorry, my hair's all over the place. So the Margin, or Magian, I've already forgotten how it's pronounced. He showed the guy a vision of what's on the other side of the wall, and what's on the other side of the wall is the Majuj and the Yajuj, and they are constantly trying to destroy the wall because they've essentially destroyed everything on that side of the wall, and they can't go under it and they can't go under it. They can't go over it and they can't go under it. That image is fucking creepy. I didn't really look at it much till now, but like that is actually creepy. It's like a mantis bug face with, I don't know, but it's weird. I don't like it.
But I am inclined to believe that I was not deceived, for Allah is knowing and seeing, and I saw only what had already been revealed.
Foundation archaeologists began evacuations of the area surrounding SCP-2309 in 1992. Among the articles of interest discovered were as follows: a cache of approximately 1,000 Lydian coins,
Nice.
a large number of iron and bronze fragments from Achaemenid weapons and armor,
Okay.
a collection of gears and other machine parts, probably used in the construction of SCP-2309. Many are stamped with the seals of the Mechanite temple cults of the Ionian city-states. A mass grave containing skeletons with humanoid body structures largely similar to those of baseline Homo sapiens sapiens, deviating from the baseline in that their skulls largely consist of a vertically aligned pair of sharp jaws, and that their fingers end with bony claws.
Oh, so those are the Majuj and the Yajuj creatures from the other side of the wall then. So they had a mass grave to, obviously, I'm guessing, to kill the ones that got through. Ooh.
These specimens have been noted to resemble captured instances of SK Bio Type
Yeah.
B. And finally, a large clay cylinder containing the following record, written in Old Persian, of the construction of SCP-2309 and the circumstances in which it took place.
Oh, okay.
This is Iron Wall Cylinder by unknown author. Department of Antiquities, 1994, 2387.
All civilized men praise Cyrus, beloved of Ahura.
Holy crap, I just realized that image is moving. Why did it take me this long? I'm like 8 minutes into the freaking video and I just noticed that the image is actually moving. Okay, that's pretty cool. I apologize for not realizing before now, Dr. Miller, but that's actually pretty cool. Well done.
Mazda,
So minuscule.
King of Kings,
Didn't know.
King of Persia, Babylon, Sumer, Akkad, and Lydia. His army, which counts in its ranks as many men as there are drops of water in the Tigris and the Euphrates, marched into the Caucasus to confront the invaders who have sailed out from Adatum, led by Karaski Yagaha.
It's a lot of names I'm not gonna remember.
David generals of the Angra Mainyu. They have caused great mischief in our lands. At first, Cyrus's army drove them back to the pass, but the onslaught was endless, such that even the companions could not hold them back. In his divinely granted wisdom, Cyrus resolved to build a barrier to hold back the Devas and their accursed armies.
SCP-2309!
Gathering the wisest men from all corners of his empire, Cyrus journeyed to Ionia, where he enlisted the Mechanite builder priests. As Cyrus's armies held the line, the Mechanites erected a great wall from blocks of iron and poured over it a layer of consecrated brass, so that Karski Yagaha and Karski Magaha and their armies will be sealed away from mankind in the realm of Druge until the end of time.
Okay.
Because of the eschatological significance assigned to SCP-2309 and the existence of written and archaeological evidence suggesting that SCP-2309 was constructed as a barrier against Sarkic armies, it is believed that the breach of SCP-2309, if and when it should take place, may constitute an SK-class dominance shift scenario.
Wait. So what I don't get is how does the wall regenerate? So every day these guys are attacking the wall. That's my assumption, right? So every single day the armies are pouring an onslaught onto the wall, and that's why it gets eroded so much. But what I don't get is like, how does the wall regenerate itself? Do they fix it, or does it just regenerate as part of its natural, supernatural, I guess, properties? Because that's what I want to know.
Historical and esoteric research regarding the nature of the threat posed by SCP-2309 and possible improvements to its containment is ongoing. This concludes today's lecture.
That's
Thank
pretty
you
cool.
for listening, if indeed you still are, and you're all dismissed.
So this is like one of those SCPs that you need to protect, basically, because it's stopping an end of the world potential scenario of these monster creature armies getting through. Okay, that's pretty cool. That wasn't where I thought this one was going. I wish it told me about like how, unless I'm just silly and completely missed the point. If I did, do let me know in the comments. But I wish it told you more about how the wall regenerates instead of that it just does regenerate. But then I guess that kind of, that supernatural factor makes it an SCP and not just like a wall, I suppose. That bug creature thing is really creepy, and it took me far too long to notice it as well. I was so invested in reading and listening that I didn't even notice it traveling across the screen. So that was really well done, Volgan. The Volgan, I suppose I should probably call you. And do please check out the original video. It'll be posted in the comments below. Leave a like or a comment or a subscription on the OG post, because the more you like their content, the more I can react to their content and basically watch it myself, I guess, because originality is non-existent anymore. Why make your own content when you can just react to other people's? That's my motto. Oh my god. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video, and until next time, bye. Like or subscribe. Ooh.